listening to the Self-Trust Solution podcast with Dawn Lede, episode number 62. Welcome back. Today I want to talk with you about judgment and how amazing and useful it really is. And you definitely heard me right. Judgment is awesome. So if you spend energy and time fearing judgment, judging yourself for judging others, this episode is for you. I'll share the necessity of judgment in moving towards our goals, why it often gets a bad rap, what we miss and need to extract instead, and how to get the most out of your probably well-exercised judgment muscle. No matter where you lie in your level of self-trust, there are 5 self-trust secrets you can start practicing to create more goal success. Get your free download today and learn the 5 simple secrets for harnessing self-trust to supercharge your goal success. Say goodbye to self-doubt and confusion and discover the keys to reigniting your passion for your goals. Grab your copy now at theselftrustcoach.com/5 secrets. We are constantly judging. We're judging ourselves, we're judging others, and then we layer judgment on top of that judgment, as if we're not supposed to be judging. But the truth is, we are. In fact, it's a necessity. You need to form an opinion. You need to judge whether or not you want to create more connection with someone. You need to judge, discern, if you will, or form an opinion about whether you want to get involved in that business, invest time in that charity. Judgment is crucial. However, we often focus on the unfavorable side of judgment that we call criticism. Essentially, what we call criticism is just unwanted feedback or opinions we don't agree with or enjoy. And when we use these to hurt or discredit ourselves or others, judgment gets a bad rap. It's viewed as if we shouldn't judge. But even then, there is an invitation to judge, even when it's criticism. We want to judge the validity of the criticism. We want to look and see, are there any takeaways that are useful? And then to leave what is neither valid nor useful, so that you never let words from either yourself or others hold you back. And maybe even use them to propel yourself forward. And that's what we want to focus on here, because we are going to judge. We're even going to criticize. And it can be useful. It can hold value. But we miss the usefulness when we use it against ourselves and we begin to add layers on top of layers of judgment, building this kind of mountain of judgment. And I'll give you an example of this that I saw recently with a client who was judging herself for not moving forward in her business. She was judging herself as being behind and then worrying about what other people would think, the judgment of others, that she was not moving forward in her business. So she's creating this sort of avalanche of judgment that was burying the truth of both herself and the situation, because the truth was she had gone off her schedule one day and had 2 hours of tasks that weren't completed. She skipped it. When we explored, she made a choice to prioritize something else over that time. It happens. We do it. This choice didn't have to be judged negatively and actually could be learned from, but it's hard to get to that objectivity into the lessons under the layers of judgment. So we have to peel them away. When we look at the choice of what she chose when it was time to do those 2 hours of tasks, and she made another choice, we looked at what that choice was and did she like her reasons for making it? And it turns out she actually did. And there's one judgment layer down. It's like accessing the truth behind it. So then, if I like my reason, we have to ask, if you like your reason, why are you judging yourself? Oh, because I'm going to be further behind. Like I'm behind now on my goal. Something that seemed like a fact to my client. So there's that next layer of a judgment. And we just have to take a look at it. What's true about that? Okay, it's true that if I don't do those tasks, like sometime in the next 2 weeks, if I don't complete those 2 hours of work, then I'll be a day behind my goal deadline. Okay, so there's the truth. And why does it matter? Okay, well, actually, one day behind my goal isn't bad, but I also could add those 2 hours of work in actually before the end of this week, and then I wouldn't be behind at all. So there's what else we could figure out. There's another layer of judgment gone. So if it's figured out at this point, now you like your reason for your choice, you know what to do with that 2 hours of work, it won't factually put you behind. What if it's not a problem? And what my client came to is, I guess it's not really a problem. So getting curious and extracting the data and removing the invalid untruths is how we make judgment useful in connecting to ourselves and discerning what is best. It's telling ourselves more of the story, using that judgment to get underneath what's really going on here, not making it more of a problem by just piling more and more judgment on top. Judgment is not a problem. The same is true when we fear being judged by others. It's often focused on one potential, often not even probable side of the story. The criticism or feedback or opinions that we don't want. We never think when we fear judgment, oh, I'm so afraid they're going to think I'm amazing. I'm so afraid that everyone's going to love the new book I wrote. I'm so afraid that they're going to be so proud that I just accomplished this goal. We never go there when we're fearing judgment. We don't tell ourselves the whole story. And again, here's our invitation to get really interested, to be curious. Like, I really want to know, what is this fear? What is it that I'm worried that people are going to think? And who are the people that I'm telling myself will think this? What else could they think? What if it's not a problem either way? Introducing curiosity takes the sting out of the stigma around judgment and uses it for what it's actually meant for. It's meant to discern how you want to move forward. It's meant to form an opinion, to make a decision about what you want to do and how you want to move forward. It's not meant to stop you from moving forward. That is a decision that you get to make. Do you want to give control to how you move forward to an opinion? Do you want to give it to the fear of what somebody out there may or may not think that you may or may never find out about? Or do you want to learn from yourself and use your judgment to help you decide what's best for you by gaining access to the information you need that often is born out of judgment? It's so useful. Judgment Judgment, my friends, is not a bad thing. Can it be used in ways to stop you? Yes. And that happens precisely by letting it land as criticism that you never explore, that you never mine for the useful data. But can you also utilize the discernment, your judgment in the way that I've shared with you today, using the questions that I posed or your own to utilize it in a way that serves you 100%? Judge, discern, have opinions about yourself, others, situations, even criticize. Just don't forget to discern what's useful, what's not useful, what's valid, and what's not, so that you can judge how you want to move forward in a way that honors all of you and the possibility available to you. What will you take away from today's episode? My goal is for you to stop judging your judgment and start using judgment for you. See the usefulness of your ability to judge and how it helps you discern moving forward. Drop the added layers of judging your judgment and instead mine it for important data. Let your judgment and those of others invite curiosity. What's true here? What's not? Why does it matter? And what if it's not a problem? Ask these questions from fascination to learn about yourself, not in a way that is critical, criticizing you, but really in a way to learn. Learn from what's true and then release everything that isn't, unless it is exploring what's possible. Because what we're doing often is we're trying to predict the future. And if you're going to predict the future, since you don't know what it is, why not at least also predict it in a way that is in your favor? Thank you for joining me today on the Self-Trust Solution Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to leave a review. This helps me reach new listeners, continue to create content, and brings me so much joy in my mission to help you create self-trust fueled success. Join us next week for episode number 63. Thanks for tuning in and have a trust-filled week. Are you ready to achieve your goals without the pain of doubt, fear, and worry? Join the Self-Trust Lab, where we're re-engineering your self-trust for massive achievement. Don't miss out on this exciting new way to achieve your goals. Your best self is yet to come. Join us at theselftrustcoach.com/the Self-Trust Lab. See you inside.